they had high spirit. The fight from Georgia was impressive, and then for Bama to finish off was great too.
Was it kind of cool? Like, I'm going to get to play one of these teams, at home next week.
It's I see like Kentucky too. I watched them. They were a great team too. So just watching them, and then just being able to watch football Saturday was cool. But that game was impressive. Just the electricity in the stands was even funner to watch. So that's what I live for.
You mentioned after the Missouri game, you feel you guys are close to kind of breaking through in games like that. What about this team leads you to believe that?
We just got weapons all over, and I feel like it's my job to utilize that, checking in and out of plays, and that's what we're doing this week. And then when I see something, make it happen.
What do you make of the Alabama defense from watching that game and basically the whole season too?
They're a good defense, and they got some players who will be in the NFL. They'll be playing on Sundays, and so we got to go out there, be cautious of what we do, and then when it's our time to punch, we got to punch hard.
So the last two times that Vandy played Alabama, which isn't often due to the schedule, Vandy kind of went in and, it's like, oh, this is cool, we're playing the number one team, and then they lose by 50 plus. How do you, what is your message to the team in terms of, clearly trying to go with a different approach to this
is a whole new team. The NIL era is, every team will be different every single year. But we got a team full of dogs who prepare every week like they want to play on Sundays. And so with that, the only person that knows who's going to win on Saturday is God. So we'll be prepared. We're going to do everything we can to win a football game. We fell just short to the number 7 team in the nation. So we got to get over that little edge and then start punching some wins here.
Yeah, would you, from going through self-scout, both from the Mizzou game and maybe the entire season so far, what do you think are the areas of opportunity for you guys offensively to improve?
We get behind the chains too much. That's something we got to fix as an offense. And then, we put the defense out there too fast. We went 3 and out too many times. So putting that defense out there, that allows them to score points. If their offense isn't on the field, then they won't have a chance to score.
You guys haven't turned it over a whole lot this year, and that was obviously an emphasis point going into the year. Is that something you've been happy with, or is there more room to grow there too?
We've put the ball on the floor in options too many times, but we haven't, turned it over. We turned it over once, I think, once or twice this year. So we just got to keep, taking control of the ball, but more importantly, the 3 and outs are killing us, and penalties are killing us right now. So we got to clean that up.
Obviously, Eli has been kind of the go-to guy, but how do you maybe get Skinner and Sherrill more involved within the offense?
Yeah, those two, Skinner and Junior, are hell of players. We need to drop some more plays for them. But Eli is just like a safety blanket almost. You know where he's going to be. He knows me, and just has the connection we've had. We played a year and 2 years now of football together. So, but yeah, Q Skin and Junior, I trust them against anyone in the country. So when it's time one-on-one, the ball's going to.
With the same two guys running the offenses last year for you, is there any differences in kind of how the game is called at this level versus the other level you played at?
Coach K has his twist on things. So we're in a lot of pistol back and things like that. That makes it harder for the defense. But just doing that, it opens up several shots for us when it comes down the line. But the most important thing this week is not getting behind the chains.
I know you're not personally playing against him, but I imagine you've watched a good bit of Jalen Milroe. What do you think of his game?
He's a great quarterback. A lot of people have him drafted first pick. He's leading the number 1 team in the country right now. So he's a great quarterback, and I can't wait for us to duel it out on Saturday.
What about not getting behind the chains is such an emphasis point for you guys? Yeah,
for sure. When we have drives that are consistent, it seems like we always score. So getting behind the chains, we get backed up, and then it's really hard to convert when you're off schedule.
What about Alabama's offense? Obviously, they take a lot of deep shots. They're explosive offense. Are you guys looking to combat that with the explosivity of your own, or are you hoping to run the similar, methodical?
To be honest, the only offensive film that I watched was against Georgia. They got some game players, but I'm focused on the defense and see what they got true freshmen starting at corner, and then they got number 1. So we got to have our hands full with them. So I just try to stay not to watch their offense.
After 2 weeks and kind of a brutal loss in Columbia, how eager are you to just get back out there on Saturday?
Yeah, the whole team is fired up to go out there on Saturday. Rando said it best. If you're down about this, then you ain't shit, really, is what he said. Like get up and get back to it. And so that's what we did. Saturday we came out, we punched each other in the face all day Saturday or Sunday, and then today was a great practice. So we'll be electric and ready to go.
Played for Alabama. Did you grow up a Tide fan?
I don't know why I was always kind of different, but a lot of my family was Alabama fans. I chose Auburn at a young age. Don't really know why, but I did. I was a big Cam Newton fan growing up, but half the house has always been Alabama fans, being my dad and my older brother. So,
what's the excitement then to play against them? Where I know you were on special teams in 2022 when you guys played down there, but now being a bigger part of the game.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they're a good team. They're number 1 in the country for a reason, and it's awesome just to get this opportunity to go out and play and just show who Vanderbilt is and who we are and who we have, and how we can compete with the best team in the country. The whole team's excited, and we're just excited to go out there and shock the world.
With them being the number 1 team in the country and obviously a big stage, is this the kind of game you came to Vanderbilt to play in?
I mean, yeah, that's why you play in the SEC in general. It's like you play Alabama this week, and then in 2 weeks you play the number 1 seed of the whole season, Texas, and then you just keep playing. We played top 5 Mizzou, our last game. So that's really why you play in the SEC. It's just different. It's like a mini NFL, and that's why you come to the SEC. You come here to play in big-time games and big-time moments and to make big-time plays.
Have you seen videos of your dad playing for Alabama?
No, I haven't.
What was the focus during the bye week? I mean, just having 2 weeks to prepare. Do you think that benefits you guys going into Alabama?
Oh, yeah. I mean, bye week's awesome. Allows everybody who's been kind of banged up to get healthy again. But this bye week was just to kind of clean up what all has gone wrong. The first 4 weeks of the season, how can we get better? We kind of focused in on us and what we need to do, what we need to get better. But yeah, it certainly helps to have 2 weeks to prepare for a team like Bama.
What do you think is the key to cutting down on some of the defensive penalties that have happened this season?
Yeah, it's just discipline. Most of them are just stupid penalties that we get. Sometimes PI and stuff like that happens, but we just can't let unnecessary penalties get the best of us.
After the Mizzou game, Brian and Diego talked about how you guys are close to breaking through, and you're kind of right there. How close do you feel you guys are at kind of breaking through and turning games like Mizzou?
I mean, everyone knows we're close, and we believe it more than anyone else. It's just that Mizzou's a great team too, but we showed that we're there at the last stage, at the last seconds to finish the game, and we just didn't do enough to win that game. And you look back on it, and there's so many things that we could have done better, as probably Mizzou could have done better, but we're just so close in those big games. So just keep chipping away and keep doing what we need to do to get better to eventually come out on top.
Were you watching that Alabama-Georgia game on Saturday as a fan, or did you guys have some sort of team event to watch it? Or?
No, I was there was a couple of us that watched it together, but when you kind of play at this stage, it's kind of hard to watch the game as fans anymore. You're kind of looking at it as, well, formations are in. What do they tend to do out of those certain formations? How are they shifting to, get leverage on the field and stuff like that? I mean, I'd say I kind of tried to watch it as a fan on Saturday, but then, Monday came in and I probably watched that game 2 or 3 more times, not as a fan, so.
What were your impressions of, I guess what you guys got to do to slow down that offense, and specifically Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, they have elite players and they try to get those elite players in space, so it's all going to be about doing what we need to do to cut down the space and leverage the ball and stay on top of their deep routes.
You talked a little bit about your relationship with Robert Steiner. I know you talked about it in Dallas in July, but how now the season's underway, kind of what you've seen and how you've worked with him.
Yeah, I mean he is a huge reason why almost the whole team is still healthy, still going, and each week you see us get better and stronger. A lot of times during the season, you see teams kind of taper off and start getting weaker, start losing players. For us, we just keep getting better as the season goes, whether that's experience on the field or off the field, being able to recover, getting stronger in the weight room and stuff like that. That's just been a huge part of why we continue to just keep progressing and keep getting better every week.
So just obviously you guys forced a few turnovers against Georgia, a team obviously that hadn't turned the ball over.
Right.
How hyped were you guys about that? And I know obviously the game they kind of came back into in the second half, but just
Right.
the turnovers.
Yeah, we was really excited about the turnovers. That's something we emphasize every week, and it was an emphasis them just not having a turnover all year, and us to go out there and make the plays that we made on the ball and get the ball back to our offense was big. But we definitely left a lot of them out there. I think that's one thing that we still disappointed about in ourselves, just not executing when we got our hands on the ball. But and like the second half, not executing and not finishing the game. So that's something that we definitely took away from the game and something we're definitely emphasizing this week.
Coach Wama kind of emphasized, when the offense commits turnover themselves, he wants your unit to kind of go take the ball back or do something really positive.
Right.
You guys get the safety right off of there after they throw an interception. How to feel to accomplish kind of that and do that after that play, and just how juiced up for you to have that blitz work out so well.
Right. It's always big. I think us just being competitors is kind of a our defense versus their defense type of thing. So if they get a takeaway, you want to get two. You feel what I'm saying? So I just think it's that that level of competitive spirit that's around our whole team and around our defense. But when you go out there and you practice something, you execute it, it definitely feels good to go out there and execute it in the game.
You heard the word trap already this week?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We know coming off a big win against Georgia like that is some teams kind of can relax and be satisfied with that, but we're not satisfied with anything. We're excited for this week. It's next week and next opportunity and money on the floor.
This is going to be a much different environment than it was last week. 100,000, now it's going to be 28,000. You played here the COVID year when there's really small crowds. How do you kind of get going when there's a very small crowd, not as much energy out there?
I think that just comes from everyday preparation. Coming out here at practice, we don't have any crowd or anything like that, so I just think we got to bring our own juice, and we just got to go out there and be excited and be happy to play the game. Don't let any external factors affect us, and go out there and play to the Bama standard.
For someone who's never seen you guys play, how would you define the swarm defense and kind of the mentality that it takes to be that swarm defense?
I would define the swarm defense as takers and tenacious, violent unit. That's one thing we pride ourselves on is swarming to the ball and knocking the ball off people. And when we don't do that, we're upset with ourselves because we know what standard we hold ourselves to and the standard that's set here at Alabama and for defense, and we're trying to be the best defense that come through here.
What about this defense is different than the one you participated in previously?
I would just say it's a lot more vision coverage.
Yeah.
It gives us more opportunities to make plays on the ball and kind of move around freely and play football and make plays as such.
One of your teammates, Damani Jackson, gets himself a pick. I mean, he's been kind of described as like a little bit of a quiet leader, but how do you feel to see your teammate, one, get that takeaway, and two, how's he just kind of been helpful for the secondary, kind of pushing the guys, being the leader and all that stuff?
Yeah, Damani's been a very consistent player since he's got here. Coming into work each and every day, I think the secondary, really our whole team defense, we really do a good job of holding everybody to the standard. And I think that's one thing that's been important, and just no matter how good you're doing and how bad you're doing, we always want to live up to the standard. And to see him get his first interception here at Bama was definitely a good feeling.
Now you guys got ranked number 1 this week. What's it like now, the mindset? How do you keep everybody on edge being the hunted as opposed to being the hunter?
Yeah, we're not really whole motto for this team is not being satisfied until we get what we want. And so at the end of the year, that's what we want, the trophy at the end. So it don't matter what games we win on our way through the journey, it's just another stepping stone into reaching the ultimate goal, and that's to win a national championship.
How do you keep the young guys? I mean, you got a lot of young guys in your secondary. How do you keep the young guys from maybe falling into some of that rat poison?
Just keeping everybody locked in and telling people we're not satisfied. Like, we haven't done anything special this year that we didn't see ourselves already doing. And I just think we just got to come in and continue to build 1% better each day, 1% better each week, and continue to grow and know that there's more to grow from.
Whether the Georgia passing game kind of attacked the secondary in the second half, what was your message to your guys after that second half?
We just got to go out there and execute. Go out there and make plays on the ball. Go out there and play confident and play physical downfield with receivers.
So as a DB, I'm curious, that Ryan Williams touchdown, what could have been done to stop that play? If you were on him?
Hold him. Nah, but it's crazy that he can go out there and make spectacular plays like that. We always talk about you never know which play can be the most important play of the game, and for them to finally go up in the game and him to come out there and make a spectacular play right off the bat definitely says a lot about him and his preparation.
Was that shocking to you, or was it kind of just?
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the plays he made in the game, he made at 7-on-7, like the tip ball in the air. Like I didn't see him do that like 2 times in 7-on-7 in the summer. So it really wasn't nothing new. It was new to see in the game, though. It definitely was new to see in the game.
Can you learn that as a football player, or is it just something your brain has to know how to do? Tip it up to yourself and do some of that stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think he was locked into the football, and when you prepare the way he prepares and the way he attacks the work, good things happen to you.
But Malachi, how does it feel knowing that you're going to get Alabama was already going to get everybody's best shot, being Alabama, just the standard that Alabama holds, but going on the road now, being the #1 team, how does it feel like knowing that y'all everybody's Super Bowl best? Everybody trying to knock y'all off. Everybody want to say they beat Bama. So how does that feel just to have that target on y'all back? Y'all already had it, but it's official now with #1 on them. So.
Yeah, we always thought we was a good standard of college football anyway, and we was always gonna get everybody's best shot, and so that really it doesn't really affect us in any way about how we go about our business. We come in each day knowing that we the best, and we gotta work like it, because on Saturday, whoever we play that week is gonna be a Super Bowl, a national championship, however you want to call it, and we gotta be on top of our game every week.
As somebody who's has played a lot of football and has won a national championship, how are you kind of emphasizing to some of these younger guys how to not be complacent after a big win?
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, after the game, like, I'm glad we won and all, but as a defense, as a team, we was kind of just upset about not finishing, and there's always work to do. We can't be complacent, because complacency will get you beat, and that's not what we're trying to do here. So I just think that's something we continue to harp on, continue to be hard on each other, and hold everybody to the standard.
Kalen DeBoer said yesterday he needed this to be the best Tuesday practice you've ever had. How did it go in terms of?
It was a great Tuesday practice. I think it was one of the best Tuesday practices. In terms of everybody moving with urgency, even starting in flex and coming out, like we finished 5 minutes earlier today than we've ever did on a Tuesday. So I just think that speaks for the urgency we was moving with today, and yeah, we're looking for the stack tomorrow.
What do you see in Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia?
He's a wild card. He's a player that's not scared of anything. He has nothing to lose, and those players are dangerous. He's a playmaker for the team. The balls are always in his hands, and definitely had to be aware of him.
Gone back and watched New Mexico State film?
No, I just watched the the Missouri game last night.
Coach Womack doesn't seem to be real big on running dime. When the other teams, in 4 wide, is it difficult to deal with that, just staying in nickel?
I just think it just comes down to our execution. We've been running the defense since the springtime, so I think our offense has given us every look an offense can give you in terms of 4 wide, empty, and things of that nature. And I just think it's come down to us executing the calls that he called.
How difficult is it to defend empty? Georgia seemed to have a lot of difficulty with that on Saturday as a defense. How difficult is it to defend empty?
Definitely more difficult when you have a quarterback like Jalen Monroe who can take off and run when he's not accounted for. But it's just all about knowing where your matchups are and basically film study. That's really all I can tell you.
Thank you.
But appreciate